Hola, hola. So basically, I never finished the Melon Soda Mika video because I finished it at my friend's house and I never recorded it. Yeah, but I'm gonna talk about my experience at GalaxyCon as the Melon Soda Miku. I did compete in the cosplay competition, the craftsmanship one, of course. So basically, I'm gonna start from what happened at the beginning of the day and prejudging and what happened during then, and then I'm gonna skip to the contest and talk about the competitors and stuff. Because everyone genuinely did such an amazing job, and the staff was nothing but nice. So let's get into it. First, we're gonna talk about prejudging. We got there 30 minutes before prejudging because I told my dad to get there by 11:45 because I knew that if I told him the right time, then he'd be late. So when we got there 30 minutes early, I was happy, you know, because we had time left and I wasn't late, but then I also started getting really anxious, and it was fine. We waited on the third floor right by a window for a bit before going down to the second floor, which was where prejudging was. This was in the Oklahoma City Convention Center, so it was pretty easily navigatable. There were signs everywhere and all that stuff. And they also had screens with the panels in front of them. I wanted to check out a couple of the beginner cosplay ones, but my friend and my dad didn't want to stay very long. So, but I'll talk about that later. So basically, prejudging. We went to the prejudging like 10 minutes before. I was waiting outside. Now, me and my friend, we were in the back of the line because there was a line and we didn't know where to go. So I saw this candy apple cookie cosplayer in line for prejudging. I was like, oh my gosh, she's so cool. Let me talk to her right now. But I didn't want to talk to her right then because I wanted to compliment her cosplay because it was so cool, but I was scared. But anyways, yeah. I eventually went over because our friend Sebastian got here, and so I was like, okay, candy apple cookie cosplayer kind of has stopped. The conversation between her and someone else is kind of like slowed down. I think it's fully stopped. I'm gonna go over and I'm gonna compliment her cosplay. So I went and did that. She was so nice. I low-key think we became friends that day. Low-key. But anyways, yeah. Turns out I had prejudging slot before her. So they kind of reorganized the line. And yeah, there was this cool Astrid cosplayer. She went in first, and then before me, and then I went in, and then Candy Apple. It was great. The judges were nothing but nice. They asked permission before touching me and my costume. They complimented me. They complimented Miku. Okay, it was like a great experience. My nerves immediately went away. So yeah, we got out. We decided, hey, let's go walk down the artist alley for a bit. So we did. And then we got out of the artist alley, and then we sat down, and then we went back in, and then we got out of the artist alley again, and then we went to the second floor the third floor, where they had chairs and stuff and tables and stuff. We put our stuff down, we sat down for a bit, and then I started filming TikToks, and my friends started photobombing my TikToks, and then in one of them, I was doing the, like the radio video, like that thing, pop music. And my friend was photobombing, and she noticed some random adult man, right after my dad had left to go use the bathroom, sat down right next to our stuff and was staring at us. He was sitting down we were kind of like panicking, but we didn't want to say anything out loud. So we called our friend Sebastian, asked him to come up. He tried to come up here. When my dad came back from the bathroom, he saw those people. He saw that man sitting there. I didn't mean those people, I meant that man. He saw that man sitting there next to her stuff, staring at us. He did nothing. But he was so worried about a kid taking photos of us for cosplay bingo, and also because they liked our cosplay. But anyways, yeah. I got photos with cosplayers and stuff, and we met Max Middleman in between, and then we left. We left the con because the cosplay contest itself wasn't until 8 o'clock, and I didn't have to be there until like 7:30. So that's what happened. We left, we went to her house for a bit so she could change over. We went to my friend's house for a bit so that she could change out of her uncomfortable Doki Doki Hatsune Miku cosplay and change in more comfy clothes. Then we went to my house and chilled for a bit, and then we left and we got ice cream and stuff, and then we got to the convention center. On the way up, in the escalator, my foot got caught in the escalator. Like my shoe, it got caught in the escalator. I was panicking. I was like, no, my shoe! And I managed to pull my shoe out, but it was broken. So I finished going up the escalator. I explained, hey, to the cosplay staff. I said, that doesn't mean, but I explained, hey, basically my shoe got caught in the escalator. It broke. I need to go to the cosplay repair center. Where is that? They were like, oh yeah, it's down there, first floor. You go to the left and stuff, and then you'll find it at the cosplay lounge. I cried because I couldn't find it at first, but then we made it there, and they duct taped my shoe back together, and yeah. So they duct taped my shoe, and then we went back up there. Luckily, I wasn't late. I made it in time. Turns out, when I got there, I was next to, I was right in front of the candy apple cookie cosplayer again. And I was like, well, what do we have here? I think I know you. And then we talked, and then we started talking to this ex-guy cosplayer from Teen Titans, and then the Chainsaw Man cosplayer. And we all had so much fun together, and it was amazing. Genuinely, so much fun. And then I got closer to my turn. I walked on stage. My hat fell off my head. It's not that big of a deal. It was humiliating though. People were clapping and stuff, but still. So I bent down, picked up my hat, did my 3 poses, and then I did like this while I walked away because I did 1, 2, 3, poses including those numbers. And I did Miku Miku Beam, and I really hope people got the reference. But anyways, yeah. Basically that was how my first competing experience was. The Candy Apple Cookie cosplayer, I think she won Best Novice. I think her name was Danny, and she won an award. I don't know if it was Best Novice or not, but she won something, and it was amazing, and I was cheering for her. And afterwards, we left and stuff, and yeah, that was like the most fun I've ever had. So that about wraps up the day as a whole for me and my friend. GalaxyCon is so well run. I really appreciate those who ran it. We're not going to talk about the thing that happened while the judges were making final decisions. We're not talking about the act that happened there, because that dude, it seemed like he was on a drug roulette taking a new drug every 10 seconds. But it was hilarious. And so, yeah, that's it. I'm sorry I didn't get a vlog. I was too busy having fun. Bye. Also, at the end of the video, new cosplay reveal. Next cosplay reveal that I will be making is a choice between 2. And I will be entering it into GalaxyCon. So yeah, it's between one of the 2 that I put on there. You'll just have to see. Ooh.
And now, it's time for the moment you've been waiting for! 1,